Hi, I'm Jason Gore for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at the complete Stax singles volume 3 and 4.
Big shelf.
So this is the second part of us diving into the complete Stax. This is going to be a much shorter video than the other one. Put a link in the description so you can see part 1 where we talked about the history of these releases. And I have recorded a Rob Bowman, an extensive 90-minute conversation or so with Rob Bowman. I'm going to get that up shortly, tied to this continuing release. These are available, I believe it's a limited time. I know they're available now on the Rhino site and certain select independent stores, I believe, are going to be getting them shortly. But nonetheless, here's our look at the continuation. The short version, for those that haven't watched the other video, is that way back in the day, they released a 9 CD set of basically the history of Stax Volt. And then after that, there's 2 other volumes. And what they're doing on vinyl is, for the first time, releasing the same track list, a truncated version of Rob Bowman's original Grammy-winning liner notes, as vinyl sets. And so, because you can fit substantially more stuff on CD than you are on vinyl, I think it was of the, so it's a 9-disc set. Each of these are 3 vinyl sets, and I believe that it totals, what is it? It's 2 CDs worth, right? So there will be, if I'm doing my math correctly, 8 volumes of 3-disc sets in order to make up the 9 CDs. I might have done the math wrong, but work with me here. There's going to be a ton more vinyl, actual individual records, than there will be actual CDs. Of course, there'll be many more than 9 individual slabs of record, A-B sides. So, I had a chance, unlike the other video, I had a chance to actually listen to part 1. I'm going to crack these open and see. You'll see that they're pretty much the same. The colors are obviously different as they go along. The vinyl itself will be on, just normal black volume. The pressing seems to be very capable, nothing to write home about. Warner/Rhino has done a really decent job in the past of ensuring that they actually show up and in good condition. I've not had any issues with that. You see, it's one of these sort of weird tri-foldy things with it stuck in this way, booklet form. And because it is from our friends at Rhino, poly-lined paper sleeves, which is excellent. I'm going to be replacing these with vinyl storage solution sleeves, as everybody who watches the channel know. But the fact that it comes like this means that the records themselves don't come with all kinds of paper nonsense. As the liner notes themselves are a separate booklet. The records itself, straightforward, clean, immaculate, all good. Now, I did have a chance, of course, to listen to volume 1 and 2, the 6 records, and compare them directly to the CDs. Now, I have the first sort of pressing, as it were, the first release of the CDs, the ones that I bought, that Dan Aykroyd made me buy back in the mid-90s. And the mastering difference between the CDs and the records is substantial. The records sound way better. Absolutely stomp the original CDs. Now, I don't know whether the re-releases of the CDs improve that. Don't have those to compare. But these vinyl records, whatever their sources, and my absolute assumption is they're all digital source, of course, but whether or not the original recordings have gone back and been re-digitized, as it were, which is absolutely probable, or simply there was, because it's being done for vinyl anyway, care and attention was actually brought to the mastering, these are exceptional sounding. They absolute stomp the CD versions, not even close. Now, what the CD version has that these do not have is the complete liner notes from Rob Bowman. The liner notes themselves have been truncated quite significantly. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not getting a bunch of really great stuff. Here's an example. You're getting essentially quite a bit of information from all the tracks, a bunch of images and all that stuff. It's great. But all the sort of color and flavor and other elements of the narrative of Rob Bowman's original documentation have been edited substantially. And as my interview actually attested, Rob was not responsible for the editing of this. This was done without his knowledge. In fact, when I did the interview with him, he hadn't even got a chance to even see the records, let alone know what had been edited. I had to read it out to him. So you can see it says by Rob Bowman on the top, but this is very much an edited version of his doing. But the liner notes, as much as we love the liner notes, are secondary to this music itself, and to have available on vinyl these tracks is amazing. It's really lovely how they did it. It's a gloss over where the graphics is. So it's a matte finish with gloss overlay over just where the graphics are, same as the back where the actual track listing is. And on here, look, Rufus Thomas, Otis Redding, Barbara and the Browns, not one of the great names, but a killer track. Johnny Jenkins, Wendy Renee, the Mad Lads, and then Can't Be Still by Booker T and the MGs. That's just side one. Goes from there. Just killer stuff. Marquise, more Otis, more David Porter, the Admirals, tons of Rufus Thomas, tons of Sam and Dave. Just fabulous stuff on here as we're going from 1959 to 68. A massive range of some of the best R&B and soul ever recorded, full stop. Now, the stuff after 68, the stuff that makes up the other two volumes, is also pretty amazing. And a gentle reminder for those that don't know, these are essentially, as it says, it's the complete Stax Volt singles, but it is not the A and B sides, it's the A sides. This is not like the Motown, that it truly is a complete singles launch, where you had both the A and B sides for everything Motown ever released, save for 2 or 3 titles. Those will never come out in a complete set in vinyl. I think it would be 500 records for you to do it. It's already, I guess, 14 volumes of multi-CD sets. Glorious. I don't listen to it nearly as much as I should, but I love having them. It's one of those. Welcome to the collector's mentality. And yeah, by the time we get to volume 4, this sort of weird, I guess, what do we want to call this? Avocado color. Very much the color of all the phones of my childhood. More Booker T, more Carla Thomas, Otis Redding, more Mad Lads, Johnny Taylor, William Bell, Mabel John. Just stuff. I mean, Fa 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 is on here by Otis, right? When Love Comes to Town by Ruby Johnson. It's just amazing stuff. Otis's version of Satisfaction on here, killer. The sound, as I said, exquisite. Just absolutely trumps completely my CD set. And so what I've been doing, unsurprisingly, is I've been going through Bowman's original liner notes from the CD and then listening to the records. As simple as that. And this is very much, if I'm going to sit and listen to this stuff, that's how I'm absolutely going to do it. Again, following the same greenish color as they actually go along. The records themselves, once again in paper, polylined paper sleeves. And the booklet, sort of relatively flimsy, but nonetheless certainly good enough, replicating the inside and the outside. And then the truncated version of the essays from the original liner notes, complete with documentation. So I'm going to have, once all is said and done, a replication of my CD set over all of these, vinyl sets, in, for me, by far the definitive ways I'm ever going to listen to these. It is an amazing journey through this incredible label. And I am so happy that this mode of collecting, this golden age of vinyl release, where serious attention is being given on vinyl releases for stuff that otherwise would have been very esoteric for the collector's market, back when CD collecting could actually handle this. In a world of streaming, in a world where this kind of stuff is just not given the due it's deserved, it is so amazing that there are archivists that are willing to go way back to 1991 and that original CD release and find in the year when I'm recording this 2025 an ability to showcase this stuff and actually press in definitive ways these tracks on vinyl and on 12-inch vinyl, singles collected in this way. I just couldn't be happier for this. For thatshelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. If you're a serious collector of music, you got to get these. It's as simple as that. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think about these particular tracks and these particular releases. Love to hear from you. Go to thatshelf.com, support our writers there, follow us on social media. We will see you in the next video. All the best. Take care.